और फिर इसमें भी रिकॉर्ड हो सकता है। अरे वाह। Hmm. Awesome. So today we start with it's a research paper that we want to read about and from, and it is written by, authored by Roland McCarthy uh, and Annette DeHale. So they both are PhD researchers. The topic is the science of interconnectivity, exploring the human earth connection. Hmm. In this, so they are working with, let's read the abstract first. We launched the Global Coherence Initiative as a science based international effort that seeks to help activate the heart of humanity and promote peace, harmony, and a shift in global consciousness. All across the planet, increasing number of people, groups, and communities are undertaking activities that support positive change and finding creative solutions for manifesting a more peaceful and a coherent world. We are working in concert with the other initiatives to help realize the increased power of collective intention and increase consciousness using a scientific approach that conducts groundbreaking research on the interconnections between humanity and Earth's magnetic field environment. An important aspect of the research is the Global Coherence Monitoring System, a global network of magnometers. Unlike other monitoring networks, this is designed specifically to measure resonant frequencies in the Earth's magnetic fields, such as the Schumann resonance, field line resonance of and alpha waves. In this document, we discuss the research that demonstrate how global collective behaviors and numerous psychological rhythms in humans are synchronized with solar and geomagnetic activity. Additionally, we examine the fact that the majority of research conducted thus far has focused on how disruptions in the Earth's magnetic fields are associated with adverse effects on health and behaviors. Although understanding how these disruptions affect people's health and well being is clearly important, we believe there is an even more fundamental and important aspect of the Earth's magnetic fields that, once understood, can be utilized to help transform human consciousness. We are suggesting that the Earth's magnetic fields provide a plausible mechanism that interconnects and non locally distributes information to all living beings on our planet. In this context, we will review several independent lines of research that support the hypothesis that the Earth's magnetic fields can be a carrier of and encoded by psychologically patent and relevant information from a large number of people who are in heart coherent state. We further suggest that people can work together in a co-creative relationship to consciously increase coherence in the global field environment, which in turn distributes this information to all living systems within the field. So, from what I understood is from here, if I go and just give you a short summary of the abstract of the paper, is that the coherence, the Earth's magnetic field environment affects the global coherence, the human behavior, and it has effect on the human health psychophysiologically and psychologically. Likewise, the human psychology and the physiology also affects and gets either by affects the electromagnetic fields of the Earth, the geomagnetic activity, and it's synchronized. वहां पे जो असर हो रहा है वो हमारे पे हो रहा है, जो हमारे पे असर हो रहा है वो उधर आगे हो रहा है. So what they are suggesting is that we should work together. We should work together as teams, as co-creative relationships, and we should consciously increase the coherence of the human consciousness when we work with the heart and the mind coherence, because the global field environment, it distributes the information to all living systems within the field. So when we make our own chi field, uh, you know, that the chi field, why it is so powerful, because we connect to all the chi practitioners, we connect to all the teachers, we connect to all those who are connected in that energy field, and then we work towards that. So even if I go up into that field, I can carry all of you. So then if someone, one of you matches my vibrancy, we can, two of us can take four of us together, four will get in there, then it becomes, it keeps multiplying, and the effect of that chi field um, affects us, all of us, and the entire living system within the field. So, in the introduction, worldwide, an increasing number of people are experiencing mounting concerns about climate change, natural disasters, extreme weather terrorism. They have mentioned this, very interesting. Extreme weather terrorism, energy and water shortages, food and product safety, and economic instability. ये तो हमारा बाहर का जो system है, that is where it is standing. Now, these concerns are creating a growing sense of urgency that we must change the old structures that do not serve humanity and the environment. So we have to change the old structures. People sense that we are on the threshold of a new stage of social, spiritual, and cultural evolution. We believe we are at a point in the evolutionary history of consciousness in which we have an opportunity to evolve to more interconnected, inclusive, and cooperative social, economic, and cultural systems around the planet. This is precisely why the Global Coherence Initiative GCI was formed. GCI is a science-based co-creative initiative that was established to help facilitate the shift in global consciousness from instability and discord to balance, cooperation, and enduring peace by uniting people globally in heart focused care and intention. The initiative was launched in 2008 by the Heart Math Institute, a non-profit research and education organization. Currently, over 200,000 people in 154 current countries are involved in the initiative. By pursuing the science of interconnectivity, GCI researches the dynamic relationships between human consciousness and the Earth's energetic systems. In addition to conducting research, GCI employs several strategies to help increase personal, social, and global coherence. We have an internet based network that connects people globally who wants to participate in helping to shift global consciousness. GCI members receive regular updates that inform them where to direct their energetic contributions of heart focused care and intention, often to places of unrest or natural disasters. जैसे हम लोग बैठ के healing भेजते हैं. We sit and work in the circle, G circle. So it's very similar to that, and but at a much larger global platform. And they work in the places of unrest and natural disasters. So GCI is helping to educate the global community by providing tools and technologies for increasing individual, social, and global coherence. In this ebook, we will discuss the four primary hypotheses that shapes the framework and focus for our research on interconnectivity as well as existing theoretical and experimental support for each hypothesis. The rise of the field view of reality. The field view of reality. Classical physics conceived of reality as elementary building blocks made up of solid objects separated by empty spaces. This view continues to be most people's view of reality, including scientists. With the discovery of radioactivity and electromagnetic fields, and the development of modern quantum physics, whose validity in the understanding of elementary particles, atoms, and molecules was fully established in the last century, a new view of reality has emerged. In this new reality, especially in light of the experimental confirmation of entanglement, physical objects cannot be understood or observed in isolation, but rather must be viewed as part of a holistic web of interconnectedness in which fields and relationships are pivotal. It is very जो हम लोग reality जिस चीज को हम लोग reality बोलते हैं. छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल आई कीप गिविंग दिस एग्जाम्पल कि भाई अपना एक वो बना लिया एक्सपीरियंस हो गया उसको रियलिटी में कन्वर्ट कर दिया कि भाई अभी क्या टाइम हुआ है 5 से 6. अरे बहुत जबरदस्त ट्रैफिक मिलेगा. आपने उसको बहुत ज्यादा ऑब्जेक्टिव बना के आपने उसको रियलिटी में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. बट दिस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग व्हेन दे से this new reality, especially in light of experimental confirmation of entanglement. Physical objects cannot be understood or observed in isolation, but rather must be viewed as part of a holistic web of interconnectedness in which fields and relationships are pivotal. My relationship with the traffic is no traffic. Traffic? वो क्या होता है? It's just an example. From this new perspective, the worldview shifts away from seeing the world only from the outside and interacting mechanicalistically to a participative field connected worldview in which there are no clear boundaries between non-material fields, and the physical world. So we go far, far beyond. No boundaries. You go far, far away inside, outside into the universe. Zero boundaries, no limits. Shift. Fantastic. Early 20th century log, uh, biologists like Paul Weiss and the Alexander Gurevich proposed that biological fields play a crucial role in the development of organisms and that human beings have, in addition to a solid physical body, a field component reaching out beyond the body's boundaries. This is a view that most pre scientific cultures embraced. More recently, biophysics have shown that all living organisms are indeed permeated and surrounded by a weak electromagnetic field composed of optical photons and radio, microwave, and extremely low frequencies. That's why we say increase your frequencies, increase your own frequencies. So that will increase your electromagnetic field. Now, based on experimental evidence indicating the existence of bioelectromagnetic fields or biofields, new biophysical models have been developed that view human existence as multi-dimensional. The models include one of the several levels of non-material field organisms that include the field-related aspects of our thoughts, emotions, and intuitions. Very nice. Let's read about the magnetic fields. Magnetic fields are created either by materials that are magnetic or by the movement of charged particles. Movement of charged particles. Life on Earth ultimately owes its existence to the Sun, which has a very large and very complex magnetic field that affects us in many unseen ways. Like a bar magnet, the Sun's magnetic field has two poles that flip and reverse their polarity at the peak of the solar activity cycle, approximately every 11 years. You know what is 1111? Yeah, every 11 years. The complexity of the sun's magnetic field waxes and wanes over the course of each solar cycle. Locations on the sun where the magnetic field is especially strong are called active regions, and these often produce sunspots. The local magnetic field in the neighborhood of a large sunspot can be much greater than the sun's average magnetic field. So we have spaces like that. So Tashiding is definitely one of those spaces. There is no doubt about it. So disruptions in the sun's magnetic fields near these active regions can produce energetic explosions known as solar flares and coronal mass ejections. That's exactly what we are experiencing these days. The sun's magnetic field, called the Interplanetary Magnetic Field (IMF), extends far out into the space, beyond the farthest planet. The region of space the IMF extends into is called the heliosphere, and it acts as a magnetic shield for our entire solar system against the cosmic rays, which are charged particles from deep space. The solar wind, which is the stream of charged particles that flows outward from the sun, travels at an average speed of around 1 million miles per hour. Solar wind interacts with planetary magnetic fields in complex ways. Later, we will discuss how this interaction leads to field line resonances in the Earth's magnetic fields. So, for now, it should be noted that during solar storms, the solar wind speed can increase dramatically and cause disruptions in the Earth's magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field, also known as the geomagnetic field, is a field that extends from the Earth's interior to where it meets the solar wind. This region is called the magnet magnetosphere. Earth's magnetic field has been essential for the evolution of life. As we will discuss in a later section, some consider its magnetic field to be a biofield that connects and organizes all living systems on Earth. I think, yeah, I totally agree with this. Uh, so I'll read it again. Earth's magnetic field has been essential for evolution of life. As we will discuss in the later section, some consider its magnetic field to be a biofield that connects and organizes all living systems on Earth. At the most basic level, the Earth's magnetic field provides a protective shield against the cosmic rays and prevents our atmosphere from being blown away by the solar wind. The precision in measuring Earth's magnetic field strength, which has been continuously measured since the mid 1830s, was greatly improved by Carl Gauss. Its strength is measured in units called the Gauss or larger units called Tesla. 1 Tesla is equal to 10,000 Gauss. At the Earth's surface, the strength of the field currently range from 25 to 65 microteslas. That means 0.25 to 0.65 Gauss. The Earth's magnetic field has decreased in strength by about 10% over the last 150 years. Governments typically operate their geomagnetic observatories, such as the International Real Time Magnetic Observatory Network, which has more than 100 interlinked geomagnetic observatories around the world. Now, this network, which has been recording the Earth's magnetic field since 1991, obtains a measure of the strength of the Earth's magnetic field once per minute. Frequently, the Earth's magnetosphere is hit by solar flares, causing geomagnetic storms, provoking more intense display of aurora. Aurora. You know those lights, those beautiful lights. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's aurora. The short-term instability of the magnetic field because of the solar storms is measured with the K index. The ability to accurately measure Earth's magnetic field activity is very important because the magnetic storms can affect communication, equipment, electric power grids, and other human activities. Because every cell in every biological system on Earth, every cell in every biological system on Earth is bathed in an external and internal environment of fluctuating, invisible magnetic fields of a wide range of frequencies. These fields can affect virtually every cell and circuit in the biological system. The branch of science that studies how solar and geomagnetic activity affect living organisms, especially the humans, is called heliobiology. The majority of research in this field to date has focused on how magnetic field disturbances affect physiological health and to a lesser degree mental health and behavior. I think it's affecting the mental health and behavior a lot more because of the physiological health. And now that that we see a lot more of solar flares, the frequencies, all the frequencies going and vibrating and exploding, and I think it's affecting us, the human beings, a lot more than what has been ever experienced. It is, I will not say it's good or bad. I think it has both sides are available to it. So it is very important that we work more and more internally to increase our own frequencies. So, data from solar and geomagnetic field detectors and human nervous system activity, as reflected in brain waves and heart rate variability, HRV, shows that human physiological rhythms and collective behaviors are synchronized. That the human physiological rhythms and collective behaviors are synchronized with solar and geomagnetic activity. Disruptions in these fields can create adverse effects, while other solar and magnetic indices are correlated and improved HRV and mental and emotional states. This likely is a result of a coupling between the human brain, cardiovascular, and nervous systems, and resonating geomagnetic frequencies called the Schumann resonances that occur in the Earth ionosphere resonant cavity. Alpha waves and other ultra low frequencies called field line resonances. These will be discussed in more detail in a later section. There is a growing evidence suggesting that magnetic fields, in addition to serving as protective shield, also helps to synchronize, energize, and non-locally interconnect the living systems. The evidence suggests that these fields act as certain as carriers of biologically relevant and patent information, which is embedded in the same field and is distributed to all other living systems. This implies that our attitudes, emotions, and intentions are not limited to the space inside our bodies, but that they also can affect the mental and emotional states, that is, consciousness of others. So, if one person increases it'll affect the others. So it is very important. Keep growing so that we can work, do deeper work, increasing the to which is embedded in the same field and is distributed to all other living systems that inside about they also affect the mental and emotional states of others. This broadens our view of what interconnectedness means and how coherent cooperative intent can be intentionally utilized to shape the future of the world in which we live. Um, I had posted today a link for the Teacher V's practices, and so more and more teachers are putting up their stuff out there free so that people collectively get connected to this chief field and work towards raising the and bringing in the frequencies and bringing in peace towards this outside world. Now, GCI is hearing from an increasing number of people from all walks of life and cultures that they are developing new sensitivities that are enabling them to perceive the subtle energy fields around their bodies, right? So, the more you become sensitive with these, the more you will be able to perceive these subtle energy fields around their bodies, especially the perception of an energy like a subtle wind flowing in and out of their heart area and hands and interacting and flowing between people, trees, and plants. If we can successfully cultivate people's competence in perceiving their own biofields and frequency pitch of the fields they are radiating, as well as the biofields of other people, and establish this as a value accepted by society, it would be an enormous enhancement, advancement in collective consciousness. It could certainly have a positive effect on the quality of human relationships and society once people truly know that we are that we are not fully isolated from each other, but rather interconnected and entangled with one another. I don't like that word, but whatever said and done, that's true. We not only would have to accept responsibility for how our thoughts and emotion affects us, but also for what we are feeding the field. What is it that we are putting out into the world? So if you're feeling that joy and magic, it becomes a social responsibility for you to spread the word, to spread that hmm, in the word, that specific emotion of joy and magic. So we are feeding the field and how that affects others. Okay, I will read through this also. Central GCI hypothesis. The following GCI hypothesis guide our ongoing collaborative research. Number one, human and animal health, cognitive functions, emotions, and behaviors are affected by solar activity and planetary geomagnetic fields. Number two, the Earth's magnetic fields are carriers of biologically relevant information that connects all living systems, right? अगर मैं लैंग्वेज में बोलूं तो शिल्पा पोर्टल्स, ठीक है ना? Each individual affects the global information field. Wow. So whatever energy that you're putting out, whatever thought that you're putting out, whatever it is that you're putting out into the world, it is affecting each individual by this global information field. So the more we do this kind of reading, the more we do this kind of work, there are more chances that more people will become more sensitive, and we can uh, we can have that collective consciousness rising higher and probably world peace. Hmm. A large number of people creating heart centered states of care, love, and compassion will generate a more coherent field environment and information that can benefit others and help offset the current planetary wide discord and incoherence. This more coherent information can be encoded within the Earth's geomagnetic fields, which act as carrier waves of this physiologically patterned and relevant information. Embedded within the above hypothesis is a related hypothesis that the human emotions and consciousness interacts with and encodes information in the geomagnetic field. Mm. So our emotions and consciousness is interacting and encoding information in the geomagnetic field. It is that is why it is very important to. I mean, I can't keep saying this, but then yes, it is very important to know what exactly that you're putting out, what exactly you're saying, what are the words, what are your thoughts, what are your emotions. And it is not only for us. Now there's a greater responsibility on our shoulders as chief family to see to it that we are working towards the global connectedness, towards the global consciousness, and the affecting the geomagnetic field. Now, within this field, information can be communicated non-locally between people at a subconscious level, which in fact links all living systems and influences the collective consciousness. Thus, we suggest a feedback loop exists between all human beings and Earth's energetic systems. It is further proposed that when coherently aligned individuals intentionally create physiologically coherent magnetic fields, chi fields, they are able to move effectively, more effectively resonate with and encode information in the planetary magnetic fields. The visions that you are seeing, the experiences that you're going through, seeing water everywhere, seeing this, the dreams that you receive, these are the messages because you are connecting. When we practice, you are getting connected to the magnetic field, and your coherence is increasing effectively. You're resonating with and encoding information in the planetary magnetic fields. This information can positively affect all living systems within the field environment and help increase the collective consciousness. Now, the Global Coherence Monitoring System. A global network of 12 ultra sensitive magnetic field detectors is being installed strategically around the planet. These sensors will advance our investigations of the interactions between the solar activity and the Earth's geomagnetic field, environment, and human interconnectivity, health, and behaviors. So it's an old paper, by the way. As of March 2016, seven global coherence monitoring systems sites had been funded and six had been installed. These are located in the American state of California, Canada, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Lithuania, and South Africa. The GCMS system is a global network of GPS time-stamp detectors designed to continuously measure the magnetic signals that occur in the same range as human physiological frequencies, such as those of the human brain and the cardiovascular systems. Each site, each site includes ultra-sensitive magnetic field detectors specifically designed to measure the magnetic resonance in the Earth ionosphere cavity, as well as resonance that are generated by the vibrations of the Earth's geomagnetic field lines and ultra low frequencies that occur in the Earth's magnetic fields. Hmm. So that this is a lot more about what practical steps have been taken up and done that. So, yes, I mean, a simple layman's language, whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we feel is not only restricted to us, it affects everyone else around, right? So, and the other way around also, whatever is happening in the atmosphere is also affecting us. So it is very important to hold on to the positivity of it in simple lay lines word and work towards the global coherence. Archie feels that we work with Qigong space is very powerful. You have felt it yourself, right? Your body becoming the chi body, the chi arms, and you can go far, far away. And the kind of sensitivity that you have developed over the years with this practice, it's amazing. Hmm. Okay. So, any quick shares? Any understanding? Any questions? No?
Yeah, it is like scientific explanation. It was very technical and scientific explanation or confirmation of uh, everything is from one source, hence it is connected and hence it has impact on each other. That is that.
Yeah, which we end up saying um, in our own way that we are all one and that we are all interconnected and that what we do affect others, what others do affect us, and what is going on in the Earth's field, the magnetic field, because of the solar flares and the Schumann frequencies literally blasting out of the space. It's crazy. So probably the heaviness, the headaches, the dreams,
Mhm.
um, all these things are in a way connected. Everything is connected. So
But what
yeah.
made me think a little bit was two things. One was when when if it everything is from one source and everything, a big bang really came to our mind when you started reading. It's like that just came to our mind, that explosion and everything separated and doing its own things. But what I was thinking was कि जब वो सब भी हुआ, there are certain radiations like I think you mentioned about these magnetic field and trying to protect it from heavy cosmic rays, or to it shields as well. मेरे मन में what was coming to my mind is, why do we need to be protected from it, and why does it try to attack?
Interesting.
That came
You
to,
think it is attacking us?
हाँ, because you mentioned that उसमें line था that it shields us from it.
Hmm.
I was trying to
That is so.
shield.
There are a lot of so this is all because it's not been scientifically proved. These
Hmm.
are all just like hypotheses they are putting up, but we have experienced it, right? So, so we had not gone into this earlier. It's only now that I'm exploring all possibilities and all different things that we are getting into it. So there is very interesting. So I've been only mentioning the Jin and Qigong method of practice. But then there is another practice, right, of Mantak Chia, where he talks a lot about the different layers. He talks about the ultraviolet light a lot. In fact, he works a lot with ultraviolet light, right?
Hmm.
So, so there are different. I would say just experience it and just go with it. As of now,
Hmm.
I really don't know. I don't have the answer to your question Nagma, as of now.
No, no,
No.
thinking.
As to is it actually attacking us? Do we need to
Hmm.
be protected?
Exactly.
Uh, that why is that why is it that our magnetic fields are very weak?
Hmm.
They're saying that, but I know they are not supposed to be weak. That much even I know. So, what has weakened those magnetic fields? Why is it that we are unable to bear that? I won't say we are
Hmm.
being attacked. I would say that why is it that we are not able to bear those solar flares? Are we little bit high and we are really resonating with it, and then we are going. Some of them who don't know and who have zero practice are flaring up. All sort of things are happening in their lives because even though they're sensitive, they don't know what to do with it, how to channel it, what exactly is happening with them. They have zero ideas. And since we are all connected, they are going through what they are going through,
Yes. Like
right?
you mentioned,
So,
the paper also talks like the magnetic storms, or the variation that is happening. That is why a lot of electric discrepancies happening these days, right? किसी के घर में some some
things,
equipment
yeah.
are breaking. They are breaking
Hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
as well. And then when you talked about countries, it made me also feel that if they are in these countries and if we are all doing that, how others can also manipulate it, right? Because they these geometric machines, they have kept these in countries. How it can really also, like you said, right, you should switch off internet in the night, or wi-fi in the night, and routers in the night. I think this is one of those things that it can also come back in another way and try to manipulate us with different frequencies.
Well, we don't know, but then, yeah.
Made me think, oh god. Then but then yeah, keep working on practicing on to keep ourselves not that puppet. The other puppet I'm fine with, but not that puppet.
Yeah. So technology is technology, right? We know that how a certain technology can be used either ways.
Yes, both. Yeah.
We have seen the examples over many, many times in the history. So, yeah. So it's very important to know and see what exactly you're putting out into the world. Very important. The spells that we talk about when we speak. Hmm. Good. Okay. Any other questions, Shilpa?
So, ma'am, not now.
Hmm. Okay. Cool. So then we close for the night and for the weekend, and I shall see you on Monday morning. Bye.